Hey everyone, this is Gabe from Sonora Flacco, and today we're going to be tying a variation of a Balanced Leech. This one in a Coal Fire or Deep Merlot color. For the hook and the vise, we've got a Hanak 450 jig hook in a size 8. For thread, we're using a Veevus red thread in 8/0. And then for the body, we're going to be using this Fulling Mill Voodoo streamer dub in a Deep Merlot. We're going to need some balancing pins to put the bead on. For the bead, we're going to be using a Fulling Mill round tungsten bead in a 3.2 millimeter. For the tail, just normal black Marabou with a little bit of Opal Mirage in it to give it a little flash. So to get this fly started, let's go ahead and start our thread on. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and add in our balance pin with the bead already on it. And with this one, want it about a bead's length in front of the eye. Just go ahead and trap that on there. You want to watch out where you cut the pin or the end of the pin, because sometimes it'll be a little sharp and try to cut your thread. So do loose wraps to begin over that. All right, now we got that all on. Go ahead and add in our tail. Just gonna strip some of these fibers back, make a nice little tail. This one we want to be about a length of the body or half the length of the body extra off the back of it. We'll go ahead and strip them, get them on, do a couple loose wraps, and then we'll really cinch it down with a couple tighter ones after it. Once you get two or three on there, you can kind of reposition it, make sure it's in the right spot you want it to be in, and then do those tight wraps. I gotta get this out of our way. Just go ahead and cut it. I have to cut it a couple times. It's not working with you. Kind of fluff some of that piece you cut out up and get it a little closer to the hook. Now you can just, there's that tuft right there, go ahead and wrap some thread over it, cover it up. All right, now from here we're gonna add in 2 pieces of the Opal Mirage Flashabou. Try to line up the tips of them, kind of like so. And just tie it in a little bit longer than the length of that Marabou, and then we'll cut it to length at the end. So we'll tie in this side first, get a couple wraps on, and then we'll wrap this over and around. And this is another spot right here that you could use the rotary function on your vise too, to try to check to make sure you got it all lined up. That should be about where I want it. Now we got them all in, kind of pinch all 4 strands of it, and we'll try to get them all tight. We want to cut it just a hair longer than the Flashabou or the Marabou right here, so we'll cut it right about there. Now we'll just add some extra flash to it. Now from here, it's about time to add in that Voodoo streamer dub. So to do that, we're gonna make a dubbing loop. I make a double dubbing loop just in case. Go ahead and wrap that on there. And once I got that trapped, work my thread all the way up. Try to cover this balancing pin right here. Get some thread wraps on it. It just helps later on for your dubbing loop to bite onto. Okay, try to get this out of my way here. Do a couple whip finishes here just to keep this thread out of my way and from unwinding. I'll hold it over here out of my way. And now from here, you can pull a good chunk out. I pulled about this much off. What I like to do, I've got a little clip. I'll actually just trap all the fibers in, and it's a lot easier to put it into that dubbing loop. But to get to that point, it's nice to pull some of these fibers out. And when you pull them out, they're not really lined up. It's kind of just a big mess. So you want to kind of pinch them into a nice grouping here. You kind of see you got a bunch of crazies over here on this side. And you just want to try to slowly pull those out and get all the tips and to line up and get it all uniform and everything before we go ahead and get going. So I got that all set up here. Pull these tie, go ahead and throw this in up here. Oop, don't want to let go. I got that in. Now I'll grab my spinner and I'm going to try to spread this out over probably 2-3 inches. And then we're going to spin it up and wrap it around the shank of the hook. And spacing this out here makes so you don't have to make multiple dubbing loops. We can just get one long one going, and that'll make the body of the Balanced Leech here. Doesn't have to be like, you don't want it super sparse, but you don't want it super thick, because then you'll be using a lot of material in each fly. But that should be right about where you're looking at right there. Try to get the thread going down the middle of the streamer dub that you just threw in there. Now we can go ahead and spin it up. My tool takes a minute. They make some nicer ones that have some ball bearings in it that you can just hit with your thumb 2 or 3 times, and we'll do the exact same thing, but this will get the job done for now. Now that I got it all spun up, just gonna take it, and I'm gonna take this little Stonefo tool here. It's got the rough piece of Velcro on it. I'm just going to brush this out a little bit, try to get those fibers unclumped and straightened out. Don't have to go crazy on it or anything, but that's right about the length and everything you're looking for. And now we can go ahead and use that rotary function on our vise real quick. Just wrap. Don't have to be like super tight touching wraps, but somewhat touching. And just wrap forward. And right in here, you'll get to the eye of that jig hook. Go right behind it, and I'll start up that balancing pin all the way up to behind that bead. All right, now we're there. I'll go ahead and tie this dubbing loop off with our thread real quick. Thread's trying to go loose on me, don't want that. Try to push some of this back too so you can kind of see what you're doing. Try to get some nice tight wraps back in there. All right, now that looks like it should be pretty good. Go ahead and trim that dubbing loop you had on there off. Now I'm going to throw a couple whip finishes right here in the front. We're almost done with this fly. There's 3. There we are. And now I'm going to take that Stonefo tool one more time. Just try to brush the whole fly out. Have a little piece of thread here and it's trying to come undone. Just go ahead and trim that real quick. Okay. And again, use that rotary function. Go all the way around the fly. Brush out the sides, the top, the bottom of it. But that is all there is to that fly. Super effective under an indicator, stripping them even dead drifting them like you would a nymph or anything like that. So really versatile and super effective, and you can do a ton of different colors. You can do olive, you can do white, bunch of them. But that is your Balanced Leech variation.